Well, hey y'all, it's Brian SLC Farms. Well, it's been probably a good week or so since I've done any filming. Been kind of dry, and then now we finally started getting some afternoon thunderstorms. We've finally accumulated somewhere around 1.5 inches of rain over the past week in the afternoons, evenings. But got a little maintenance job we're going to do today. We picked up a new Bushog a while back, or new to us, and the Bushog came with its share of issues. It had a stuck drive shaft. I may have some clips that I'd filmed a while back of us trying to fix that, but I rebuilt the drive shaft on it, got it cleaned up good, and we've got on the batwing one side is not staying level. We've got a pin broke back there on the back, and so we went and saw our friends at John Deere and picked up our new parts. Just these two parts right here. They were not cheap, to say the least. But so we've got to get our Bushog hooked up, get our plasma cutter out. I think that's going to be the way. I've got to cut this old pin out of that Bushog. Dogs. Dang dogs. But I got to cut this old pin out of the Bushog, and I think I'm going to try to do it with the plasma cutter. I'm not sure if the cheap plasma cutter I have will do it or not, but first things first, we got to go get the Massey Ferguson, get it hitched up to the Bushog, get some tools out, and figured I'd bring y'all along on it. My videos are going to kind of slow down a little bit, y'all. I've been trying to do 3 videos a week. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep up with it right now. I've got projects to do, but I don't know that all of them are worth videoing. I'll video what ones I think are. But since we're done with our first cut and we got so dry, we don't really have much of a second cut to be able to do. So if the content slows down, we'll get it picked back up just as soon as I feel like I got enough videos to make. But otherwise, appreciate y'all watching this one, and let's go get the mower. All right, I got up here to the Bushog. If y'all saw the video before, when I unhooked this thing, I did not have a jack, and I put it on wood blocks, but I do now have a jack for it. I bought a different jack for the tedder, and now I can put this jack on here. Calvin's gonna help me get hitched up to it. Let's see here. Go in there, you. There it goes. I think this will work good. See if we can get these wood blocks out. I may have to hook the hydraulics back up. Yeah, I think I'll have to hook the hydraulics back up. All right, let's grab the Massey here, get backed up to it. Yep, that worked. Get the hydraulics hooked up here. All right, we got the pin in. I'm gonna get it raised up so we can get that wood out. got her all raised up. We'll get it up to the barn and get some tools. All right, we're gonna get this machine pulled up by the barn here. So, look out, little dog. I'm watching the grand dogs, country gals at the beach. But so we got to pull it up by the barn house. I do not have a welder plug in the at the new hay barn. Eventually, one day, I'm gonna have me a shop back there and behind it. But for right now, I have to do all this kind of stuff outside, out front here. But we'll get the plasma cutter out. I have to use the air on the yellow truck, and go see if we can cut this old pin out. I'll show you what we got going on. All right, so our bush hog here is a John Deere 1518. We picked this thing up back in the spring from a good friend. Gave us an excellent deal on this machine. Currently, I got $400 into this bush hog, and then about another $300, well, the new drive shaft, probably another $450 in parts so far. Eventually, I'll probably have to put some tires on it, but I'll run these until they go. She's got some rust on her, but nothing horrible. Maybe this fall I'm going to look into patching up a few of these little areas here on both sides. It's from where it was laid down for a lot of years and they didn't keep it cleaned off. It's had some patchwork, not going to say it hadn't, but we started out with a 5-foot bush hog, then we went to a 6, then we went to a 7, then we went to a 10, now we got us a 15. And I'm so looking forward to having this batwing, one, to be able to clean up my field edges a little better instead of running my expensive hay mower up under tree limbs. My plan with it in the future is to start going around all my fields right before we start mowing hay and mowing all the edges back with this bush hog. That way I just get them cleaned up and nipped up. What we're going to do is get this fixed. We've got a couple cow pastures we need to go bush hog. Just get the grass tops nipped off. I'm also wanting to do some field edges. Then we've got the new ground over at our property that we never mowed the ryegrass off of. I'm actually probably going to run the bush hog across most of that ground. We're going to disc all that matter, the rye and all in for the nutrient, and get that field smooth back up because it was so rough, and then get it sowed down in September with some fescue for a permanent stand. So what we've got going on, anywho, about this video is the leveling for the two wings. So this wing is proper. You've got a rod here and it's going into this other pin right here. And on this side, the rod broketh. It was that way when I got it. I tried welding it back up. Actually, I tried getting the old threads out. Couldn't get it out. Then I was like, I'll just weld it together. But I knew it wasn't going to hold, but I figured I would make a valiant attempt before I went and bought new. But I did buy all the new parts, but now, and even beforehand, so the old bolt is still in. You can kind of see the thread sticking out right back here. I hope y'all can. So I can't get this pin to slide out. So I'm going to try to take the plasma cutter and cut it into two pieces, knock the middle out, and then knock the two ends out. And then it should be pretty easy to put the new parts back in. The hardest part's going to be getting this old one out because I don't have a torch. I have torches, but I don't have bottles. I need to go purchase some. I've said it for years. I've had a torch set, two of them actually, for years. The regulators and the torches and all. I've even got a set of old empty bottles a neighbor gave me, but I've never gone and had them filled or swapped them out or whatever you do. I need to do that, but I don't use them enough. But it's times like this I could. Anywho, we're going to see if we can get that plasmid out of there somehow, or sawzalled or grinded with a grinder or something, and replace this. So I'm gonna get some tools out and we'll get started. All right, y'all, we got our tools all set up. So what I have here, this is a flaring plasma cutter, FL550. It's 110 or 220. I run it off of 220 here. And then I've got the service truck over there with the air running. This is a cheap plasma cutter. I don't use one a whole lot, but I'll say for when I've needed it, this thing's been great. I have no idea if this is going to work for our application. So I've got everything set up. Really need me like some shades for this thing, but I just use my welding helmet. I'm hoping that I can cut on each side of this pin down in here and knock the middle out, cut it from the front and the back. You can see the old bolt's still stuck in there. I'm gonna see if I can't like make an incision right here and right here by this grease fitting, and then the same thing up top, and try to cut that out of there. I'm gonna try to set the camera up right here so maybe y'all can see what I'm doing, but I have no earthly idea, again, what a plasma cutter does. Same thing, I also don't want to burn my camera up, so we're gonna see what happens. I may have to move y'all real quick. Uh-oh. I love doing metal work, but I don't do enough metal work often enough. I know y'all are just staring at a piece of metal. I'm trying to get everything turned on here. Get my helmet. I don't do enough metal work often enough to be good at it, if that makes any sense. So I am definitely a hack. I may have to lift this thing up to get in here. Well, it's cutting something. Alright, I'm going to change positions here, and we're going to see. I'm cutting something. Well, we're cutting through it. Yep, we're cutting through it. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna keep on cutting. I'll put y'all where I think you can maybe see. What the heck I'm doing. we are getting somewhere. Went over and got a jack stand to put under this thing because it wants to leak down because it doesn't have this bolt that we're trying to do here. Let's see here. Yeah, I think where we were was okay. We're getting it cut, slowly but surely. Trying to chip some of this slag off of here. Actually got the pin spinning. So we're getting somewhere on it. It's actually good that it's spinning. So this thing's pretty simple to replace your torch. You just unscrew, hope y'all can see that little doodad right there. Bought a whole nother box of them on Amazon. Replace that. That. I don't need a ceramic on it. Now you just unscrew this little tip right here, which it's still okay, but I'm gonna go ahead, when I replace them, I just replace them all. And then that just screws right down inside there. And then this part right here. And then there ain't nothing wrong with this ceramic piece, so I'll just put it back on. I've got more of them, but I don't think there's a need to replace it. Those are garbage. New tip. Uh-oh. I'm making a good connection somewhere. Make sure I'm all the way in with that tip. Now I need some pliers. Yeah, that's all the way in there. Just makes it hard to get that gun in there. We'll try that. Now it's working. Okay. Make sure my duty cycle light ain't on. Nope, we're good. We ain't reached our duty cycle limit, so here we go. Oh yeah, she's a cutting now. I might have should have done that from the get-go. All right, y'all, as you can see, we're getting it. I'm gonna finish getting this cut off, and yeah, hopefully we can get some new parts put back on in a minute. All right, yay, we finally got it out. I'm gonna get those holes cleaned out with a wire brush. Make sure these grease fittings on each side take grease. Got to put a grease fitting in the new pin. Grease everything up real good so this does not happen again. And pick up our parts. We got the old bolt that was stuck there and our two halves finally cut in half right there. The old plasma cutter, that thing surprises me every time I use it. I mean, that's about a 2-inch around diameter pin that we got cut through there with the old plasma cutter. Take us a little longer than probably a cutting torch, but it's what I have, and so I'm pleased with that. So we're gonna get the holes cleaned up, check the grease fittings, and I'll bring y'all back when we start putting the new parts on. All right, y'all, so I got all the tools put away and cleaned up. Took the grease gun, checked both grease fittings there. They took grease, wiped it around inside there where the pin's going, put a little grease on the pin that's going in there. For whatever reason, John Deere did not thread the hole for the grease fitting, so I took a tapped threads into there. We got our grease fitting for it right there. You can put a little grease on these threads here. So next, let's try to see if we can get this pin in the hole. Is there enough room one way or the other? Probably got far too much grease in here. I think we want this fitting down like so. Yeah, got it good and greased up. Can't have too much. Well, I guess you could, but I don't think in a situation like this you really could. I think that's what broke it. I think that pin got froze up inside that sleeve, and when you went to raise it or lower it, it twisted and broke that pin right off. All right, so next step is going to be to screw the eye bolt in one form or another. Our deck's sitting about level, but it's going to need a little bit of adjustment, I'm sure. But we're going to get it close. Alright, so our threads are just poking through there. We're close there for our pin, but I'm going to go in the tractor and raise the bush hog up real quick. I guess we could go ahead and put this grease fitting back in. All right, so grease fittings back in. Let me go hop in the tractor. We've got to get that jack stand out from underneath there. So we'll raise this thing up real quick, and then it's going to have to be lowered down just a hair. Now we'll lower it down to what I feel like is level. Probably about right there, honestly. It's too much. I think that's it right there. Now let's see if we can get our other pin in. Oh yeah, we gotta screw this way on in now. Hope I went too far. Let's see if I can go out one more. I'm gonna keep going out until I can't. All right, let me grab a hammer to tap that in. I think all that's left to do is, I want to keep on going, I think. Yeah, I think all that's left to do is to test this rascal out. As I get this pin on in here. There we go. Well, maybe it needs to go the other way. Oh, she ain't coming out now. All right. Last thing I got to do is I'm going to slide a little bit of grease on these PTO shafts here. All right, the last thing I'm going to do is put a little grease on that PTO shaft. It was old when I got it, and put it together thinking I would get this part on sooner and that I would rub some grease down on it. Someday came later than what I wanted. So, greasy gun, shafts to be greased. I already greased all the U-joints and all that stuff good. I'm not going to be able to do it exactly how I wanted to do it quickly. I'm just going to have to squirt a little on here. Rub it in there. Hopefully that'll rub up inside that tube a little bit. Now let's do this one real quick. And it's getting late, but I've got a couple of little weed patches that I guess I missed when I was spraying the cow pasture here. So it's enough to knock them down, enough to try it out. I have not got to really, I've turned it on, but I have not really tried this hog out, like, you know, really mowed with it. So the blades look to be in decent shape and all that. So let's get it folded up, get down to the cow pasture, and see how this thing does. All right, y'all. It's getting kind of late on us. I didn't start this project until it was probably 5 o'clock. I had a funeral to go to today. My dad's brother passed away, and the funeral for it was today. So I didn't get back here until around 4:30 or so. Alright. We got the batwing all folded up. I had some little spacers to put on the hydraulic cylinder on the back so it wouldn't lower too far. We'll get this gate open. I don't have much back here to weed eat, just like literally maybe a couple passes of some weeds that didn't get sprayed. I sprayed this pasture with Grazon early in the spring. And pigweed we usually fight it every year, but pigweed is around like this manure pile here, which I don't know how much of that I'll be able to get. We'll see. And then right in front of us, there's one little patch right there. So there's a couple little patches on the other side of the fence as well. But we'll get this thing unfolded and see what kind of cut job it does. Nice. Nice. Both wings are level. Let's turn it on. Oh yeah. Throttle her up. All right, here we go, y'all. Let's see here. We're just gonna head right through it. Oh, beautiful. Oh man. Heck yeah. This will be nice. "15 foot at a time's wider than my hay mower. So that'll be exceptionally nice. I might want to raise it up just a little bit more. I'm not sure if I'm happy with the height of my cut. Might be going just a little lower than what I would like. I want to leave the cows something to eat. So let's do that. Let's shut it down here. Alright. And then we'll go up with it. I got more of these little spacer doodads. Let's put another one in it. See how that does. There you go. I think that'll work. Alright, fire it back up. Lower it back down. Rev her back up. Like I say, we're not going to do much. But you better believe we're going to have some bush hogging videos coming up. I definitely think I will be happier a little higher. I can definitely say that this is going to be nice. We'll get some pastures done quick, get some edges mowed nicely. Should be able to get around like ponds and stuff better. Feels good, no vibrating. Sounds good. Only thing I hear is the little chains back there. Cutting real nice. I am happy. Die weeds, die. And next, I'm wondering if the little 70-60 will pull it. It would be real nice if it would. Oh, this is rough over here. For the fact that I could get even closer up underneath trees and stuff. Alright, y'all. That's our little test patch there. I'm going to end this video right here with y'all watching the mower. Appreciate you watching. Hope you join us on the next one. If you haven't, consider subscribing to the channel. And we'll see y'all on the next one.